Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we'll take a look into having clause in a SQL. Well, the having clause is similar to where clause, but it is used to filter groups rather than the individual rows. The having clause is often used with aggregate functions like count, sum, average, max, and min to filter the results of a group by query. Well, the having clause is added to SQL because we cannot use where clause with aggregate functions. The having clause is often used with aggregate functions like count, sum, average, max, min to filter the results of a group by query. Next, let us understand more about having clause with example. So here go to the MySQL Workbench and go to the query editor, and here we have written SQL statements in previous lecture. So let us copy and paste in a notepad so that we can take a backup and just remove all the SQL statements over here. And here we have employees table with some sample data that we have created in previous lecture. So in order to view the data, just have a select statement, select star from employees, and just execute this statement. And here we have employees table with 6 rows. Okay. Next, let us go ahead and let us see how to use having clause. Well, the having clause we typically use to filter the groups, not the individual rows. For example, let us write the SQL statement to group the employees by department and return only those groups with more than one employee. So here just type select department. So this is the column from which we are going to group the data, and then use aggregate function. So we are going to count the number of employees. For that we are going to use count aggregate function and then specify star and then give the alias, let us say num underscore employees, and then from employees table and then group by department. Well, this statement basically group the employees by department and count the number of employees in each department. But what we want is we want only those groups with more than one employee. So if I execute this statement, here you can see the IT department has 3 employees, HR department has 2 employees, sales department has 1 employee. Now what I want is I want the departments in which the number of employees are more than 1. To achieve this, we can use having clause. So here remove the semicolon and just introduce having clause over here, and then use aggregate function, that is count, and then pass star greater than 1. So this is the having clause with aggregate count function. So this having clause basically returns the groups with more than one employee. So here you can see we have specified the condition greater than 1. That's why this returns the groups with more than one employee. Next, let us run the query, and here you can see the output. IT department has 3 employees, HR department has 2 employees. Okay, perfect. So this is how we can use having clause to group the employees by department and return only those groups with more than one employee. Next, let us see how to use having clause with other aggregate functions like sum, average, max, min. Okay, so let us see how to use having clause with sum aggregate function to find the departments with total salary greater than 50,000. For example, if I execute this select star from employees, we will get all the employees with all the data. And now what we want to do is we want to find the departments with a total salary greater than 50,000. For example, the IT department has 3 employees and the total salary of these 3 employees is 65,000. And the HR department has 2 employees and the total salary of these 2 employees is 35,000. Sales department has a single employee whose salary is 15,000. So now we want to write the SQL statement to find the departments with the total salary greater than 50,000. So in this case, the result should be IT department followed by the total salary 65,000. Okay, so here let us write the SQL statement select followed by the column name from which we are going to group, that is department, and then followed by the aggregate function, that is sum aggregate function expect the column name. So here just pass salary as a column name. Let us give the alias as total underscore salary, and then from which table, employees table, and then group by department. So this statement will basically calculate the total salary for each department. But now what we want to do is we want to find the departments with total salary greater than 50,000. Okay, so in order to achieve this, we have to use having clause over here. So just introduce having clause and then use sum aggregate function and then pass salary column name and then greater than 50,000. So this is the condition. Okay, so in this case this should return the IT department, because the IT department has 3 employees whose total salary is 65,000, and the other departments don't have the total salary greater than 50,000. Okay, if I run the SQL statement, you can see the result over here. Department IT, it has a total salary 65,000. So this is how we can use having clause along with sum aggregate function to find the departments with total salary greater than 50,000. Okay, so in real time project we typically use this kind of example or the scenarios. Next, let us see how to use having clause with average aggregate function to find departments with an average salary greater than 20,000. So it is almost same. So just copy this statement and just paste it over here, and here instead of sum aggregate function we have to use average aggregate function, and here instead of total salary just give the alias name as average underscore salary, and in a having clause instead of sum just pass average aggregate function, and here just give the amount 20,000. So this SQL statement basically find the departments with average salary greater than 20,000. Alright, so just select this statement and just execute it, and notice here the output IT department has average salary 21,000 something, and here we have specified the amount 20,000. So this is the IT department which has average salary greater than 20,000. Okay, so this is how we can use having clause to find the departments with the average salary greater than 20,000. Next, let us go ahead and let us see how to use having clause with max aggregate function to find the departments where maximum salary is greater than 20,000. So here just copy this SQL statement and just paste it over here, and here instead of average aggregate function just pass max aggregate function and just give the alias highest underscore salary, and go to the having clause and here just change from average function to max aggregate function. Now we have written a SQL statement to find the departments where the maximum salary is greater than 20,000. Next, let us select this SQL statement and just execute it, and here you can see the output IT department has a highest salary 25,000. Okay, so if I give the amount 15,000 and if I run the SQL statement, and here you can see the output IT department has a highest salary 25,000, HR department has a highest salary 20,000. And again if I remove this having clause and if I run this statement, this should give 3 records. But here what we want is we want the departments with maximum salary greater than 20,000. So for that we have added the having clause. If I execute this statement again, we get only 2 departments. Next, let us see how to use having clause with min aggregate function to find the departments where the minimum salary is greater than 15,000. So just copy this SQL statement and paste it over here, and here just change the aggregate function from max to min, and here just change the alias name from highest salary to lowest salary, and then go to the having clause and here also change from max to min, and here 15,000. So this is the SQL statement to find the departments where minimum salary is greater than 15,000. So just execute this SQL statement, and here you can see the department. So this is the department where the minimum salary is greater than 15,000. For instance, go to the select star from employees and just execute this statement. And here let us analyze the result. So IT department has 3 employees, Ramesh, Arjun and Umesh, and the lowest salary for the employee is Arjun and Umesh, that is 20,000, right? So this is what we got the output of this select statement. So let me execute this statement, and here you can see the lowest salary for the employee Umesh is displayed over here, and the Umesh employee belongs to IT department. Okay, next if I specify the condition like less than equal to, and if I run this statement, and here you can see IT department has a lowest salary 20,000, which is greater than equal to 15,000. HR also has the lowest salary 15,000, and here we have given condition greater than equal to. That's why you can see the 15,000. Okay, so this is how we can use having clause along with min aggregate function to find the department where the minimum salary is greater than 15,000. So just undo it. Next, let us see how to use having clause with multiple conditions. So far we have seen only one condition in a having clause, right? So we can also add multiple conditions in the having clause as well. For example, let us write the SQL statement to find the departments with more than one employee and the total salary is greater than 25,000. For example, here let us type select department and then give the aggregate function count star, and let us use the alias by using as keyword, and then give the alias name num underscore employees. So this will count the number of employees by using count aggregate function, followed by let us use one more aggregate function sum, and then pass the column name salary as total salary. So notice here we are using more than one condition, and here in a select statement we specify these two aggregate function. So in a having clause also we have to specify these two aggregate functions. Okay, next from employees, and then group by clause department, and then having, and then use aggregate function count star greater than 1. So this is the condition to find more than one employee. Next, let us add one more condition by using AND operator. AND sum and then salary greater than 25,000. So this is how we can use having clause to add a multiple conditions. Next, let us run this SQL statement, and notice here the output. IT department has an employee whose count is greater than 1 and the total salary is 65,000. HR department has the number of employees greater than 1, that is 2, and total salary is 35,000. Okay, so this is how we can use having clause with multiple conditions. So notice the difference between where clause and having clause over here. We use a where clause to filter the records in a table, but here we use having clause to filter the groups of data, not the individual rows. Okay, so having clause is added to the SQL to filter the groups of data, not the individual rows. And where clause basically does not support the aggregate function. That's why the having clause is added to the SQL to filter the groups of rows. Okay, and the having clause is often used with the aggregate functions like count, sum, average, min, max, etc. Okay, so this is all about using having clause. Alright, great. I will see you in the next lecture.